I have no idea how Nitroplus was able to make this work, where in an Ice Age Cyberpunk Tokyo, technologically advanced zombie killers use gun-kata to fight against suicidal necromancers and their army of mechanical zombies. I can guarantee you never heard of a visual novel like this before, because as widely absurd as this sounds, Nitroplus made it work and it's fantastic. Hi, my name is August and this is Tokyo Necro. Thanks to Jasper for providing me a review copy for me to see for myself that even in a dystopian $21.99 Tokyo, the most badass way to re-kill the Walking Dead is through a good old-fashioned chainsaw through the head. Now, killing zombies isn't just a means for survival, it's a way to make cold hard cash. Living Dead stalkers are contract killers, tasked with eliminating necromancers and their undead minions. Our main characters are two such mercenaries, and on one particular mission, they end up finding a mysterious amnesiac girl after being kidnapped by a necromancer. But saving her was only the beginning to a much bigger conspiracy, involving the ice-covered wasteland of a city that is Tokyo and the organization spinning this mystery. Now, I should warn you, there's some pretty graphic and less than morally ethical scenes here. Ain't nothing better to sell this world's transhumanistic features than with a live human demonstration. Glad to confirm that sex and machines and zombies are both morally reprehensible. I suppose this should be expected for a darker Nitroplus title, like Sayana Uta and Full Metal Demon Muramasa. More the latter though, they must have brought over their 3D production team because we evolved from Magic Samurai Mechs to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance against the undead. It's quite the dynamic spectacle on more than one dimension. You'll go from these first-person House of the Dead shooting sequences to full-on animated 3D fight scenes. Tokyo Necro shines in the uniqueness department here. It even goes as far as to create its own UI system with its own OS loading sequence. It really feels like you're actually booting up a computer, but it's also equally terrible because everything from its equalizer sequence to transitioning between POVs to even saving takes time. Super strange, considering one of our protagonists' fighting style is minimizing lag between his brain and his computerized brain, all to flawlessly spin through the air with his dual pistols unironically. The world of Tokyo Necro is one hell of a futuristic melting pot of edge. You got bio-cyberpunk, living zombies, dystopian organizations, and flashy gun-kata in an Ice Age wasteland where black leather and bodysuits aren't just a fashion statement, it's a way of life. And it fucking works. Tokyo Necro is committed to taking all of these sci-fi tropes and combining it all together like the very Frankenstein gun-wearing jet engine zombie tanks that we see. And it's because of that strong focus that makes the human factor in this world that much more special. All shown through our first protagonist. Wielding a metal chainsaw in one hand and an automatic shotgun in the other, Ethica is quite literally a badass. Living her life on the edge, she storms through with pure battle instincts and blood-pumping adrenaline. Her partner may be a mechanically assisted zombie-killing machine, but no one else matches her in terms of sheer guts. Even outside of the battlefield, she's as fiery as you might expect, and also very stubborn, as you might expect. She really captures that rebellious teenage energy of "fuck you dad, I'm gonna go do what I want," and then proceeds to steamroll her way down Tokyo Necro's Yuri route. Ethica be slaying both zombies and pussy like the Sigma lesbian she is. Ethica is without a doubt my favorite character. How she's just so passionately true to herself has me rooting for her every step of the way, which also makes it that much more engaging as the harsh contrast of everything all around her tries to shake her world and who she is. It's what she stands for that shows off the precious remains of human values still left in this world. Humanity has accepted and adapted the Ice Age world that they live in. However, that doesn't mean that good old-fashioned habits are completely gone. Pockets of natural human elements can be found all around. The controlled garden that houses exotic plants, unable to thrive in the outside environment. The anime figurine shop being kept alive by that one otaku enthusiast alone. And the many, many moments of characters eating food. It raises the question of the value of these old hobbies in comparison to current innovations. Like, why get wasted on alcohol when you can artificially simulate the pleasure yourself without getting a hangover? Well, in the words of Ethica, we sometimes need little things like that to feel alive, you know? It's impressive how the authors were able to craft Tokyo Necro's world building from the large set pieces to the intricate details to further its messages about finding humanity in a world of death. Funny enough, I ended up getting so invested into reading and watching the action scenes that I actually forgot that this is still a visual novel, because Tokyo Necro has two very important choices. There are 4 routes, each depending on the combination of the 2 choices, and once you complete all of the routes, you unlock the true ending. Personally, I went with Mitsumi, Konsu, Kiruri, and Iria in that order. There's no enforced reading order, but I would highly recommend that one. It starts off as a good introduction to the world, and saving Iria for last is a good transition into the true ending. Regardless, each route holds its own individual fun surprises. What was one small detail in one story gets fleshed out in another, whether it's Ethica's complicated family situation, Mitsumi's path to vengeance ex-moe love story, or Subcon, Tokyo's own pop idol VTuber. There's a lot to this world. But what's even more interesting is that each route explores different what-if scenarios, where who lives and who dies is of major importance. The practice of necromancy is an immoral act. It's the ability to bring back and wield the living dead as weapons. But it goes further than that, as zombies can be made to resemble and act as they did in life, and the best necromancers can make them be perfectly identical to their human counterparts. That guy you know from down the street could actually be a zombie. Hell, you could have been turned into a zombie and you wouldn't know until your arm fell off. There is one clear sign though, besides shooting them: the loss of emotions. Tokyo Necro isn't just all about mowing down zombies. It explores those consequences of humans being brought back to life. How do you react to the idea that people you know were turned into zombies and are slowly losing their emotions, their own sense of self? It's an ongoing ordeal that surprises our cast. Past grudges and mistakes come back to haunt characters. But at the same time, it also makes itself a good opportunity to redeem oneself or atone for their crimes. The living dead are running on borrowed time, and how they choose to spend the rest of their living or dead days makes for some compelling character drama. God forbid it gets in the way of our machine-like, emotionally awkward zombie killer protagonist. Soan is our other main character, one far contrast from Ethica, super serious, committed to the job, and absolutely terrible at expressing his emotions. So it only makes sense for him to be paired up with our mysterious Wonder Girl Iria for contrast. They're super cute together. His awkwardness in the face of a bubbly, energetic girl is adorable. He can act like a machine all he wants, but he's still human at the end of the day. It makes you wonder about the actual benefits of leaning all in on becoming a machine, killing off all emotions for the sake of your goals. A few individuals here embody that ideal mentality, and wouldn't you know it, that's exactly the same as the living dead. So why not become a zombie today? Benefits include an almost indestructible and replaceable body. That's pretty sweet. Getting a laser-focused mindset? Great for improving work ethic. All you gotta do is rip your heart out. Tokyo Necro is a somber world, and the suicidal necromancers running all around ain't helping either. But it's how our characters find their own humanity in this cold wasteland that makes you satisfied by its emotionally strong endings, even if people end up dying in the process. There are some nitpicks, few notable, and others slightly inconvenient. However, I can say that you'll have a good time reading through and actually watching Tokyo Necro. I know I sure did, because for once, I can say that Tokyo Necro justifies me spending $1,200 on a custom computer to only play visual novels, even if it was just for the sick as hell gun-kata and the psychedelic cybernetic acid trips. A 5 out of 5 with a seal of recommendation. Quick thing to note here, if you bought the Steam version, I would highly recommend getting the DLC patch over at Jazz for the full uncensored version, or buying it on Jazz for the full version altogether. Now, if you enjoyed this review, you might want to check out Full Metal Demon Muramasa, a visual novel by the same developer, fantastic in story quality and emotional feeling. Except instead of Cyberpunk 2199 with zombies, it's feudal Japan with samurai mechs. I would also like to thank everyone on Patreon for supporting me in covering visual novels. You guys are fantastic, and if you would like to be a part of that effort, please consider subscribing to my Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.